Hello, Kelly Lee here from Root Pursuit. Today we're going to be talking about vellum. Vellum is this clear paper, usually clear, and lots of people use it for paper crafts, for scrapbooking, to add embellishments. Some people emboss them. I really haven't done a lot with vellum in the past, so I'm kind of exploring it right now and doing some testing. My first example, or my first experience, I should say, with vellum was not good because I glued it down and it wrinkled all along the sides and it looked pretty terrible. I don't know if you can see, and this didn't quite. So if you use thinner cardstock paper, this is the result. So this is like that really thin, the lightest weight, paper for like patterned paper, basically, that you can find. Probably the same, if not a little heavier than printer paper. So the results look like this. So basically, I was doing lots of art today. So ignore my paint. Ooh, that's a good one. Anyway, so this on the left was a glue stick, and I tried to totally cover all the edges, and still it just came back with this area that looks really kind of junky. So I don't know if that'll disappear. I'm kind of like rubbing it here. Oh gosh, I jumped my eyelets out. So this is what eyelets look like when they spill. I spilt my paper clip container the other day. It had no lid. It just, hangs out, and I dumped it all over the floor. And I have all of my different, I have a lot of paper clips and they were everywhere. So probably should get a container with a lid. That'd be really a smart idea. And then if you do have a container with a lid, you want to put the lid back on. And actually this one, if I dumped it, the lid would just pop off. It doesn't snap or seal together at all. What did a little there? I think it had a little paper shoved in there. So anyway, so back to this. This was white glue, just regular white glue, and it had this strange gapping thing in the middle, and it wasn't good. So, and there's no way to even keep that edge straight. So like here, the edge along, let's just say, let me just first preface this with my main purpose for these vellum sheets is to use them as pockets. So I want to be able to have an area where, it's open so that I can see through, so you can see through my cards that I've created. So here's an example. Here's a card that I created, and I want to have it in a pocket, but I want to be able to see it through, but I still want to be able to have maybe writing on the top, on the back, and also still see the background paper behind my sheet. So that's the main purpose of this. This is how to attach vellum, but also how to attach vellum pockets. Okay, so here was another example. This is a little bit thicker. So this is more like cardstock paper. And the glue stick, it didn't look that bad actually. It was okay. But I used the glue stick to create this little section here, and I want to show you what. So it does have a section, but I don't know if you can see that, and I'm going to try and hold that up, but it is discolored here and here. So there's that. Then you can see where you had the white glue, it really wrinkles for this. So any which way you shake it, white glue, whether your paper is thin or thick, it's not good. It looks terrible. With thicker paper, you could maybe get away with the glue stick, but I still don't, it just looks a little junky. So we don't want our stuff to look junky. Absolutely not. Okay, so those are my 2 examples of how not to do it. So we're done with those. Okay. So now here's a couple examples of vellum that I have. I've got my clear sheets, and that's really what I had intended to use. I came across some other vellum that I had. These are still see-through, so, but not nearly as see-through. So it's a different kind of effect, but I do have these, and let's see what this looks like as far as the see-through goes. Yeah, just a vague image kind of comes through there, and only if it's, you know, held right up to there. So, but those are options. The other piece of vellum that I have in my stash was this little, I don't know what you would call it. It's a definition of a word. Embellishment, maybe you would call it. And you can add those to your sheets, but how do you attach them? So anyway you attach them, they're going to, you know, you want to be able to not cover up any of this edge, because I did cut this out, and I cut it out a little crooked, so I'm going to fix that now. But you know, I didn't leave a lot of edge, so there's that to contend with. But we're going to try to create some envelopes, and I will tell you that cutting vellum with freehand scissors is not great. It is a lot more difficult to cut a straight line. So I can usually cut a fairly decent straight line. A lot of times it's crooked, but I would definitely, if you're cutting vellum, recommend your guillotine type cutter or paper cutter like this. Technically this is not a guillotine because it doesn't come down. Like the big handle comes down. That's technically not what this is. So first thing, let's start with the pocket. Here's my book. This seems to have just, I'm not working on a book per se right now. This seems to be my example book of projects I'm working on. I dumped my eyelets over again, but they didn't fall out. So I'm gonna do, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna try this first. Oh, that's pretty on the back. Not using that, but it's pretty. Okay, so these are just the right size for these pages. For my background. And there's a number of different ways, and we're going to try all of them so you can see what they look like. But the ways in which we are going to attach vellum today are, number 1, stapler. I have this red, filled with red staples. So we have staples as an option. We have eyelets, so it would be like an eyelet border. We have glue dots. Now, when we do the glue dots, we would have to cover up that glue dot section, probably with an embellishment. We have washi tape. And I purposely chose washi tape that has a white background, so it's translucent, and you can kind of, it'll blend better with the background. There's that option. There is, oh, we got a little tape issue going on. We have double-sided transparent tape. So this is sticky on both sides, and it is also narrower than some. So I have other double-sided tape. Jeez, it's sticking to everything. So anyway, that's a little bit thicker. So I'm definitely using the thinner one today. All right. So we're going to try the double-sided tape, and then another method that you could do is using brads. So those are my options. And we're gonna start out with the washi tape is my plan and my scheme. So doing the washi tape, I think I'm gonna go and basically get this glued on or attached. I'm not gonna glue it today. I'm gonna do double-sided tape. A little crooked and crinkly, but it's pretty fast. There we go. Ooh. I don't even know if you can see what I'm doing. Is it even in the screen? I don't know. Okay. Now, so this is our background and our, oh, that's stuck. That's staying there. So our background is going to be here. So we're attaching the vellum to this paper. Now we need to figure out, we're going to use the clear vellum on this, or the see-through vellum I should say, and we're going to attach it a little bit smaller than the size of this decorated paper, which is essentially our background. I'm just going to fold it, and that's going to tell us where we need to cut. So I'm going to line up my paper. I'm pretty sure the top of this is out of your view, but I'm literally just cutting it a piece off. Okay, getting my cutter out of the way. Here we go. All right, and we're gonna try washi tape. All right, so I'm going for this leaf pattern. I'm just gonna do, I should do the sides first. And get it lined up and apply your washi tape. Do it as inefficiently as possible. Oh wait, no. That's just me. Okay. There we go. That's what's happening there. And yes, I did. And hopefully this is going to give us a little bit of leeway here, because I put my paper on a little crooked, because that tape is unforgiving on this old paper in this book. And it was not, it was like, nope, I'm down. I'm down. I'm staying right here, and we're done. Okay. I'm gonna make a decision any minute now on where I'm gonna go with that. All right. Ta-da. Okay. So there's that. Now we have a little hangover. But it's not from drinking too much. Okay. That's fine. And then we're going to put it on the bottom. Cover up, make a nice little square. And ooh, sometimes with washi tape, you have to, I don't know if I wanted to make it that high. Guess I do now. And here's my envelope. And the reason oh, yeah, that's very fragile paper. The reason that was on this card, anyway, just came off. The reason I like the idea of the washi tape is if you glue it down, you lose some of the width, whereas, and this book's narrow enough as it is, that I can go and take that card all the way to the edge of the vellum. Even though the washi tape hangs over, you still have that pocket. When we use other methods, we're gonna lose some pocket area. Now I'm just gonna push this down, see if those do have a tendency, but this paper really kind of sucks up anything that's even remotely sticky. So we might be good with that. So, all right, so that's our method. I'm pretty happy with that. It looks good. It's a little see-through. Not as see-through as I might have liked, but okay. So now let's go with another method. Let's try the glue dots. I'm gonna skip back. I don't want all my vellum in the same area. All right, we're gonna do this piece of paper. All right, and we're gonna use our double-sided tape to put this down. Oh, and I said glue dots, right? Okay, we'll see how that looks. I am curious to see how it turns out, if it ends up looking decently. Let's put that up. And more tape up here. Now hopefully we'll get this lined up a little better than I did on the last run. Okay, not too bad. Okay. There, background paper down. So now we're gonna get our vellum and cut it. Yes, I should have cut this in advance, but I did not. And let's see here, we're gonna measure that from the piece we already used. There we go, that looks right. Down. Hello, this is part 2 of the vellum project. The last one that we did was the washi tape, which worked out pretty well. My video stopped, so due to a technical error, you don't get to see me go through and do all of these. You just get a summary of it because it yeah, it turns out if you have your phone not in do not disturb and someone calls you or sends you a text or sends you a Facebook Messenger message, your video turns off automatically. So that, it kind of took me a long time to figure that out. But anyway, that I can put on the do not disturb option and then that won't happen. So that's good news that I figured that out. All right, so we've just a little information you didn't need to know. All right, so the washi tape looks pretty good. Let's move on to the next one. I started working on this and this one worked out really well. This is the glue dots. So I don't know if you can kind of see the circle. When I did not have the sticker on, the glue dots were noticeable, but not bad. I thought it actually looked pretty decent. So I would definitely use the glue dots again. The next one I did was the double-sided tape. I thought this one looked really nice. You can kind of see a line along the bottom here for the double-sided tape, but overall it looks pretty clean. The one downfall to doing the double-sided tape is you lose all of this as far as your pocket goes. So, I mean, you could cover that with washi tape. I might even do that just to see how it looks. I'm gonna trim my edge out. So there's that. Ta-da. Yeah, that it was so. And the other thing that you're gonna miss is that my stapler broke. It actually kind of exploded and all of the spring and everything went flying out. So I'm a little sad that that didn't make it on video, but it is what it is. It was kind of funny. And so I had to say goodbye to the stapler. Goodbye, stapler. I even called the time of death. Here it is. Totally broken. All these plastic pieces just cracked right open. This stapler has given me a lot of problems, to be honest with you. From the beginning. Yeah, there's a spring in there. There's a spring. The spring. Oh my god, I just bumped my head into the camera. Oh, all right. Anyway, spring gone. All right, continuing on with my washi tape thing. So I thought that the double-sided tape looked pretty decent, actually. So if you, I'm just gonna cut this off. So, you know, even without adding the washi tape over the top of it, I think it still looks really good. So I definitely would recommend the double-sided tape. Moving right along. All right. All right, so this was the brads. It worked out pretty good. I had intended to put 2 more in, and I guess I'll do it now. The one disadvantage to doing it this way, it does look nice, but the disadvantage is that it takes kind of a long time. It was very pokey. Speaking of poking, of being pokey, and if your vellum rips, then you kind of are in trouble a little bit. So that, we'll get another little brad out of there. Then it's not very secure, I guess, but if the vellum rips. If the vellum rips, I can say that. I swear that I can. I'm just going to turn this slightly and push it down. Okay. So there's that. That looks pretty good. It doesn't, you know, you don't want to get it too close to the edge, otherwise it can rip and then your vellum's just going to fall right off. So even though it seems like maybe you could get it closer to the edge, I would not recommend that. So there's that one. And then the final one, I didn't put in page, but I guess I could do that now, was the staple. So this is what ended up, here's that other little piece of vellum too that had the writing on it, this definition. I ended up attaching it with 2 pieces of washi tape on the sides. You could use the one brad and just attach it at a corner or a side. I kind of cut my border off, so I was a little limited on what I could do. You could use eyelets, but like I said, I ended up using the washi tape and I just added it to this page to make things a little simpler. So I'm gonna glue this background on, and I think I had some red staples, and actually I think that is probably my favorite, are the staples. This is not a pocket, so I can glue everywhere, especially the edges and over the staples, so that doesn't interfere with staying put. And this is kind of thicker cardstock, so it's gonna hold up to the glue a little bit better than a thinner cardstock would. And just smooth it out. Make sure it's nice and even. There we go. And there we go. We're putting it on. Oh, and one thing I did realize is that kind of the reason I broke the stapler is because I was trying to put the vellum directly on the page and not on the piece of paper. So you definitely need to attach it to the decorative paper. It's going to cover your background. So you staple it to the decorative paper and then glue the decorative paper down. Don't try to staple to your paper because like this stapler wouldn't reach all the way to here. So I used my big stapler, that's why it broke, and I opened it up and then pressed down and kablam, kablammy. So there's that. That happened. All right. So anyway, I think this was really kind of enlightening to me. I had wanted to find a good option for a clear pocket in my book, in my albums for a while, and vellum is a good choice for that. So, but obviously gluing, not such a good thing. So at any rate, this is stapling. This is Brad's, and I'm moving back. This is glue dots. Glue dots, 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 2. This is double-sided tape covered with washi paper. So you're kind of, you're kind of limited to where that glue or the tape ends up going. Yeah, you can't see that at all. Look how far this is actually where the tape line was. I didn't get my washi tape lined up with that at all, and you just can't see the line. So that's really good. And then this one is just with the washi tape. So that one worked out really well. You can see it underneath. You have a lot of room. You can go, back and forth, and the pocket is a little bit bigger. So, all right. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, I'd appreciate a like. You can also subscribe to my channel if you're interested in more videos. And if you want, you can check out my website. It's root-pursuit.com. It is all about genealogy, so I guess if you're not interested in genealogy, then you're probably not going to find anything you need over there. But it has lots of good tips on genealogy research. So I hope you enjoyed this, and I will talk to you later.